Hey, what's up you beautiful feckers? How you all doing? Now, this is the Vauban Citadel Deluxe skin and also its Mortier Heavy Blade skin. Now, it dropped last night on PC as well as a few minor changes to our Vauban. Now, I don't think these are the changes everyone in the community was hoping for or expecting when they mentioned Vauban's rework a good few months ago. These changes seem a little bit tame compared to what a lot of us maybe were hoping for. Now, like I said, a few months ago they mentioned reworks for Titania and her Dexpixia and her Diawata. I think we've had them now, as well as changes for Naja, which we haven't had yet, and Vauban. So these are the changes. Vauban now has a new passive. He deals 25% extra damage to incapacitated enemies, which works great with his Vortex and of course his Bastille as well. So he's going to be dealing extra damage to any enemy that gets caught up in those, as well as any enemy that gets caught up in another player's or another Warframe's crowd control ability as well. Now, his Tesla balls or grenades can now be held down to charge them up to increase their damage and of course their status effect. And his repelling Bastille augment now pushes extra enemies out every 4 seconds. Of course, a lot can happen in those 4 seconds as well. You can get 1 or 2 shot, which that actual change wasn't working to begin with, but they got it hot fixed pretty quickly. Now, the deluxe skin looks great. It's kind of like a steampunk knight, complete with pumping pistons, pulsating lights, and a body that looks like it could rotate at the hips 360 degrees with no problem whatsoever, kind of like a harvester in World of Warcraft. Actually, this skin has been completely ruined for me, so I'm going to share you that image right now because someone mentioned how it looks like one of these guys from the 5th element. Thanks Frozen, you dick. Now, here's the question that I wanted to ask you, and be honest, are these enough of a change to Vauban, or do you think he needed something much more substantial in terms of ability reworks, maybe a complete overhaul to 1 or 2 of those abilities? I mean, he is meant to be our engineer Warframe, but I know for a lot of players his kit doesn't feel very much like an engineer. His first and his second abilities are generally seen as being pretty bad, and now charging them up, that grenade up, charging your Tesla coil or Tesla balls up, and now if you choose to charge up those Tesla grenades, it is a lot slower. Now, his third and his fourth ability pretty much do the exact same thing. They incapacitate and they crowd control. Most players mod for one or the other, but both work really well together for an extra crowd control, like throwing down a repelling Bastille and maybe throwing a Vortex just outside it to try and help enemies that don't get caught up or they get pushed back by that Bastille. Bastille is good with the augment, but at times enemies can still walk right into it and get a shot off before they actually get lifted up into the air, especially when you're swarmed by enemies and it can't hold any more of them. Vortex for me is probably his best ability because it clumps up enemies, and with a weapon that has punch through, it will obliterate them in seconds, or if you have a good melee weapon, you can shred through the whole lot of them. Now, his Tesla grenades though, I'll be honest, I would personally love to see them removed and replaced with something completely different. As an example, and I mean just an example, this is not a suggestion from me. This is not me saying this is how I would fix Vauban, because that's not my department one little bit. That's up to the developers. But as a suggestion or an example, imagine being able to choose between an attack drone, a healing drone, or even a shield drone instead of those grenades. Or if it wasn't drones, if it was turrets, how about a healing tower that had like an aura outside it that would heal teammates, or an armor buffing tower, or even a gun mounted turret? Imagine if it was any of the corpus kind of drones that we could have in game either. Imagine if his second ability was a nullifier type of dome or shield, or one of those wub wub corpus drone grenades that one shot you at high levels. Imagine a nullifying field, kind of like those weird corpus guys on the rollerblades, but instead it would strip enemy armor. I mean, there are so many potential ways that you could make him a proper engineer themed Warframe that could help buff your squad or survive a little bit longer, or even deal a substantial amount of damage. And I don't think that this rework we got last night with Vauban came even close to making Vauban more fun to run with, or make us bring Vauban instead of a Warframe that can crowd control better than he can right now. Most of our current crowd control Warframes bring more to a squad than Vauban does. Yes, he can Bastille and yes, he can Vortex, but other Warframes can crowd control while also dealing a lot of damage. But maybe you think differently. Let me know in the comment section below if you would love to see him reworked, or maybe you're happy with the way he is right now. Maybe those changes last night were just what you wanted. Then that's cool as well. If you main Vauban, let me know in the comment section below. Do me a huge favour, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.
If you can't even spot it, yeah, there's nothing more to say, boy, just a left, don't come find me.